The old versus the new. This should be a lot of fun. They're saying hi to each other right now. It is going to be Stork here in the top left. One of the greatest Protosses of all time. Still a very strong Protoss. Still an ASL level quality player. But not really championship material. Going up against someone who, well, he hasn't won a championship yet. But absolutely one of the very best Protoss in the world in SnOw. You know, I don't cast as many mirror matches here on ArtosisCasts. I think people tend to prefer the other matchups, but I do want to mix some in. And when I saw that these two played each other on ladder, it kind of excited me. You know, I think it's a fun match between two very different players, okay? SnOw is absolutely one of the best Protoss in the world. I think you can easily put him like number 2 behind Mini right now, and I don't think anyone would argue with that. And then you look at Stork, and he was like kind of perennially, wow, I can't speak, number 2 behind Bisu for a very long time. You know, an ex-champion. He was actually slightly better at PvP than Bisu. And yeah, just always very strong in that matchup. And in fact, I think that's still a matchup that he can play very, very well. So we're going to see what these two can actually do against each other. It looks like we're on La Campanella to start. Well, to start. I mean, it's a best of one. So to finish as well. Hope you guys are enjoying. Thank you very much for checking out ArtosisCasts, leaving a comment, leaving a like, and all those things. You know, it's really appreciated. It really does help out a lot. And I hope you've been enjoying the game selection lately. Definitely wanted to mix it up, throw in a few mirror matches here and there, and see how you guys end up liking it. All right. So, right now, this is kind of a funny scout here from Stork. He's actually checking if SnOw is cross-spawn. So there's the possibility that his probe, after going to the bottom right, goes to the bottom left, and then he'll scout SnOw super late. But if you scout and you see that they are not cross-spawn, then you know that they are close spawn, right? So that can absolutely change your build order around. This can be a viable way to scout. It is a little bit risky. You're kind of taking some percentages and stuff, and you know, it takes just a very long time to scout your opponent. So we'll see how much that ends up affecting him here. He actually will go towards SnOw second, so that's kind of helpful, but there's already a Zealot there, so he's not really able to get in. Likewise, Stork getting a Zealot over to his own choke as SnOw goes for the scout here towards the top left. So he's going to be able to find him right away. Dragoon on the way for both sides. Neither player as of yet. Oh, God, he actually slipped right by there. Didn't notice if that was off position. Actually, I don't know for sure. Oh, it looks like they do just barely fit. It looks like this is just wide enough to get a probe in. But as you saw there, SnOw got 2 hits off, so you can't stay long because you know this Dragoon is going to pop out. Now, the Dragoon does pop out, and that probe should end up getting killed, I believe. It should just... maybe not. As he hits the egg. Anyways, this probe going to run away as well. The way he's running back, he's going to try to get moving shot on the probe. Ooh, the Dragoon is closing. There's one. And it looks like Stork will magnificently save his probe from his opponent's probe and Dragoon. Citadel on the way here for Stork. So very, very quick into some Dark Templars. Gonna play a dirty game here. And over on SnOw's side, it's just a 2-gate range, which is kind of a middle of the road build. Like if with very quick range, sometimes on these flat maps, notice there's no ramp, right? It's all flat. Sometimes 2-gate range, you can actually deal some pretty significant damage to your opponent. You can poke in there pretty early, utilize that range, start out-microing your opponent a bit. But we'll see if he's actually able to do anything before those Dark Templars get out. Because obviously, if you don't have a Robo, you're just going to die. That's what's going to happen when the DTs come out. If you don't already have a Robo started, that's literally it. The Forge is the quickest way to get any sort of detection, but the odds of him going Forge here are pretty darn low. All right, starting to work on an egg here, just kind of widening his own choke. SnOw sending some more Dragoons over. Still no Robo. Oh, God, this might actually be a very anticlimactic game. First DT gets started. Second DT gets started here as well by Stork. And here we go. SnOw going to come up and start to put some pressure on. Some pretty good micro so far. He does have one additional Dragoon, so he's getting in here and actually dealing some pretty significant damage. You can see Stork is trying to keep him over on the right side. He hasn't seen the Templar Archives as of yet, but this should be a little bit suspicious how he just has fewer units at the moment. So does he start something? The Robo is started. It's halfway done right now. He sees the DT pop out. He's going to run home. And, you know, I think he'll probably go all the way home here. No, he's going to turn around. Oh, my God. Well, that means one of the DTs absolutely has to stay to defend, but the other one should continue to go. In fact, it does. This DT is going to be able to kill this army over time, but you definitely can micro quite a bit here with your Dragoons and Zealot. 2 more Dragoons coming out here as well. Look at this, blocking it off. This is beautiful. Beautiful play right there. And notice how he's got these 3 units attacking probes and the other one's running away from the DT. Very smart stuff. Full wall. 3 forge wall? Oh my God, that's so crazy. That is one of the coolest things I've ever seen, honestly. The observatory is like almost done. The DT going up. Crazy stuff that we're seeing here. The DT is finishing off the rest of the units. You can see Stork is down by only a couple of workers here. Dude, the 3 forge wall, and you have to be kidding me. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I can't believe this. He's just thrown down so much money worth of buildings just to slow the DT, knowing that, you know what? 3 forges here will make a tight wall, and he's going to have to chop through one of them, and that is over 1,000 health. So that is a lot of swipes. And now with the observer out, he should be fine. He's actually... Oh, I think he actually made a little bit of a mistake there. I think what he was waiting for was for the DT to kill this and then come in and then attack it. But the observer didn't get pulled far enough back, and they did a volley. So Stork knew the observer was out and ran away. So he actually gets to save both of the Dark Templars, which is that's pretty significant. So that was a little mistake there by Stork. By SnOw, sorry. That's kind of funny because that's his clan tag. Oh my God. But yeah, SnOw will end up living through that through the brilliance of a triple forge wall in. And now the game, I think, will kind of normalize. We actually have more workers right now for SnOw. He's produced really, really steadily throughout. And it looks like he wants to make a Nexus. In the meantime, Stork is coming over. He's got 4 Dragoons against 6 Dragoons, but he's also got 2 High Templars. I think the 6 Dragoons actually win here. I'm pretty darn sure about that. He kites back very cleanly. He's already killed a Dragoon and 2 Dark Templars, and only loses a single Dragoon to do that. So that was very inefficient from Stork, unfortunately. You know, I think if your opponent just doesn't have very good micro, a move like that can work because the Dark Templars deal lots of damage very, very quickly. They deal twice as much damage as a Dragoon shot against Dragoons. And even better when armor gets in there. Now, a Reaver comes out, and that's going to be enough to completely push Stork back. Looking back at Stork's base, he's on 4 gateways right now. So he is kind of in the mode to try to bust through Stork. And Stork, to bust through SnOw. And SnOw knows that. He's seen the 4 gateways. He knows that there's no other tech. And that's why he's sitting here making Reavers, right? Like, he's got a Reaver. Honestly, I'd like to see a single Photon Cannon go up. I think that would be a really good play. But instead, he's spending all of his money trying to get out a Reaver and a Shuttle right now. So the secondary Reaver, the Shuttle, maybe he does some Reaver counter harassment. Certainly, we're going to see at least 1 Reaver left here on the defense as well. It'd be funny if he started 1-1. Those forges just kind of chilling there. No reason to kill him. He's got a path out of that base. Now, the Nexus is coming up on both sides. They're actually timed out almost exactly the same. You can see Stork here with a very cool tactic. Look at where he's placed this, right? He knows just about where the robotics is. So if the shuttle flies directly over, he can catch that with his Dragoons and maybe get a kill. If you kill the shuttle that's coming out with the Reavers in it, you can actually just win the game from a move like that, honestly, or at least bring it back to even, because he is a little bit behind right now. And in fact, these Dragoons come out, but the 4 Dragoons come down from the top. So Stork actually had more Dragoons, and SnOw found an opportunity to push against that and whittle some of them down. Now, back at Stork's base, he's actually going into High Templars. He's going into Psystorm. Now, Psystorm can counter Reavers really, really well. With Shuttle Speed, it's not quite as bad for the Reaver user. With Shuttle Speed, you can pick up the Stormed Reavers and get out of there. If it's a slow shuttle, shuttles have kind of a slow accel, so it's hard to get in there, pick up the Reavers, and get out. without the storm like dealing massive damage to the shuttle as well. So definitely something that could end up going wrong here. Another push out there. He saw those Dragoons up here with the shuttle. Gonna go over to the natural. Uh-oh. Bad news right now for Stork. Out comes the Reaver. Oh, doesn't get the Scarab off there. Gonna start hitting that Nexus a little bit. And it looks like we're gonna have an attack in. Oh my god. He's going for a kill right now. Look at this. That's a pretty big storm right there, dealing some significant damage. You can see right now a lot of buildings being made to try to choke up here, so it's harder to attack in. Decent storm goes off there as well. The Reaver is still back here fighting, and this is really annoying. Notice he's still trying to mine out this small mineral patch to get back there and actually deal with something like this. Incredibly annoying. Also, Scarabs have a very hard time getting around mineral patches. That was a very good one, though. You can see the funny paths they sometimes have to go in here. Does get the straight shot off there. Yeah, every time he pulls back, it feels like that's not really going to connect. Definitely has to go around like that. Holy crap. That was an insane hit. High Templar's coming back. That's probably the best way to do this. Oh my god. I can't believe that he's just denying this forever. It only needs 2 more mining runs to open up to stop this from happening. But right now, even after all those probe kills, we're just now even on workers. So Stork actually had gotten himself into an advantaged position there. But just look at this. The continued Reaver harassment from the best Reaver player of all time is kind of insane. Brings up that other High Templar. Didn't have enough energy. He finally gets the last mineral out of there. How insane. Now he's going to get out with that speed shuttle as well. And after all that, Stork is actually still up in probes somehow. Look at that. 36 against 34. But look at what SnOw has back at home. He has 3 more Reavers. SnOw, being the best Reaver player, is going to make this very, very hard to deal with. Stork really needs a lot of storms to be able to win this. Right? This engage that's coming up is going to be very hard to take. I think he's going to use the storm here. He really needs it for the Reavers, though. See a lot of those Dragoons still behind the mineral patches, kind of making sure these Reavers don't come in to ruin his day. But oh, are they ever coming in to ruin his day? 4 Reavers dropped out. That's going to just demolish these Dragoons. Oh my god. Dragoons falling left and right. The mass Reaver play here from SnOw looking to be a bit too much. You know, it's too bad. It feels like Stork was like really close this game. Like he got ahead on workers. His build was actually pretty good against what SnOw was doing. But, you know, SnOw had like the very clutch triple forge wall. Follows up with ridiculous harassment behind the minerals. That's a great size storm. You can see how hard that is, in fact, to pick up. But he saves all the Reavers somehow still. And that's going to be it. GG. SnOw takes down Stork.